We'd definitely
All
be
right.
blinded by the light there.
Blinded by the light. Very good, DH. Very good.
All
All
right, let
right.
me see
Once
if I can get
again,
this.
folks, we appreciate you. Yeah, we're back on this weekly Wednesday night schedule. I think for a little while anyway, right?
Yes, I believe we are for a
And
little
thanks to
while.
you guys, we are packed to the gills with shows until I guess, gosh, into August
Yes, we're almost
without
through
a
August
without a
now.
week off, man.
I know you're working me too hard. I don't know what's going
Can't
on.
help it. So we appreciate all the support and all that grand stuff. What's on your end, man? You got YouTube showing for you?
Yes, we're good. We're up live. I just pulled you two up. So, folks, we have the comments up. So, if you have any comments for Mike or Shannon tonight, put them in and we'll share your questions with them as usual through the week. And, DC, if you're ready, we can get the intro going and get this show rolling.
Let's do that. They grew up together. They played the same sports, attended the same schools, and now they even teach together. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH. So, guys, take it away. I'll tell you this: that dude ought to get a real professional job doing that stuff.
He should.
You know what I mean?
He should be on the radio so I can turn him off.
Yeah, there you go.
So that all works out.
There
all right,
you go,
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. I'm DH, still recovering from COVID, so if my voice
stay away from me, man.
Be all right.
DC here.
Yeah,
I'll just cover you over.
I appreciate.
I know
it.
that was your part,
voice.
but there you go.
I'll
pick you up, man.
I appreciate it. I mean, you've done it for what, 52 years, 56 years.
56. You don't even know how old we are. So there you go. I'm going to have to take over. And folks, we're like 23 days apart. Grew up on the same street, so I've kind of sort of known the guys since we've been breathing all our lives. Unfortunately, right, man?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
we know each other very well.
It's been a good 56 years so far.
You got it right that time. 56.
But as I'm going to finish off the intro now, we're here to take you on another fun and frivolity look back at the 80s. DC, man. How's your week been, brother?
Busy. When you have freshman kids that you teach, you stay pretty busy. I know you are as an admin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's one of my bosses, and I never see the dude. So
he's the boss.
We're in the same school, and so that's how that goes. I get to catch up with you on this. That's when I get to see you.
That's when we get, and at the Waffle House on Friday.
At the Waffle House. Right. Our post-conference. Conferences.
I'm excited to get this one started, but I do have to make sure you realize one thing, DC. You remember all those years where we made fun of the old guys sitting at the Waffle House drinking coffee in the morning?
That is us now.
We're the old guys now. Yes. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really.
Right.
DC, I'm excited to get this one rolling. I'm going to
go ahead, brother.
Let's get the introductions going. I've been watching YouTube videos on and off for the last week.
Yeah.
Man, what amazing performers.
Fantastic. Yeah. Just amazing musicians. We've got Kids in America. We've got Shannon and Mike. And I want to say, guys, that I read somewhere, and it may have been, I don't think it was on your all's website, but I think y'all are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. It's kind of the home base. Is that right?
That's right. We're in Charlotte.
Spot on? Okay. All right. So my first question to this is, obviously you guys are a lot younger, unfortunately, DH, than us. So what was the focus on the 80s thing, and how'd that originate, the band forming?
I guess I'll answer that one.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, thank you for saying I'm a lot younger than you guys, but that's probably not that true. But I started the band about 7 years ago, and I wanted to. I'm a big '80s fan, and I grew up with it. So I wanted to really get. I played in bands my whole life, been a professional musician my whole life. I'm a drummer. I'm the drummer band leader for Kids in America. But I wanted to really have an '80s experience, not just playing '80s songs. Let's say you'll find hair metal cover bands and stuff like that. I wanted to really be an '80s band that covered all the genres of pop, rock, even some hair metal. And high energy dance generally is what I wanted. And of course, I wanted to have it really diverse and have a male and female vocals. We actually have Shannon doing the female, obviously, and then we have a male lead, and then we have two other singers actually. So it's actually a band with four singers.
Wow.
And all
Okay.
strong vocals. So I really
Yeah.
wanted, and so we got that, and I got to say, man, from day one, which is somewhere in 2016 when I started, right in the beginning of that year, the band sort of took off and never really stopped. So we're grateful for that.
Well, one of
Oh,
the
wow.
coolest things, and this is going to lead into what and DC, I'm going to use my doctorate here with a big word.
Go ahead, man.
One of the things that I noticed, such a wide forte of music that you guys played. Now, DC, did you get that? I get bonus points.
It went over my head, but go ahead, man. It sounded great. It sounded good.
Points.
Yeah.
You guys play such a wide forte of music. I mean, you go anywhere from hair metal to Madonna to Michael Jackson. Most bands have that one sound or kind of that one genre they play. How difficult I mean, you guys are amazing musicians, but it's got to be difficult transitioning from style to style to style. And you guys make it look so seamless and like it's not even an effort.
I will say it's a challenge, but it's like I enjoyed that part of it a lot. And even when you asked about the different age groups, I think there's a timelessness to the 80s. And no matter which venue we're at, if it's full of people in their 20s, if it's full of people in their 40s and 50s, I mean, there's something about the high energy, like the dance, the campiness, just like the overall vibe of the 80s that really, really, I think, is joyful for everyone. So that's been really fun as we've gone on to see, no matter where we are, people really seem to react well to it and enjoy it.
So in when I in forming the band, I had to find the right musicians, to cover all that stuff because some of the vocal ranges are just wide range and
absolutely, yeah.
And keyboards is a huge part, and I was able to luckily land a keyboard player that plays a big role in the band because that's in the 80s keyboards were really in the forefront more than ever.
Sure.
So and he really does a great job of playing, but also nailing all the different sounds. So I had to really find the right people, Shannon, and who can really be diverse and not just I'm a metal guy. Said so. Yeah,
that's one of the cool things for me when I was listening in, and like I said, I've kind of really this last week I kind of start looking at videos and everything as we start moving towards the show, but the sound that you guys have when you move from genre to genre, I mean, it's amazing to me how, I guess I want to say spot on you guys are when you're playing it and moving from that genre to genre. That impressed me. I mean, because just the pure musicianship that takes. So I appreciate the talent you guys put on display. And to be honest with you folks, if you've never seen any of their videos, go see them live. That's going to be one of my goals. I hope y'all come into the Nashville area.
Yeah, absolutely.
See y'all live. But just the musicianship, and it really looks like everybody out there is having an amazing time. When you have the camera shots from the back to the stage,
right?
I mean, and I would be rocking out too. I mean, they couldn't shine any lights on our
head. No, they don't need to do that, man.
Rocking out.
No, and that's kind of where I wanted to lead next because, by the way, y'all have a great website that's set up that kind of just lays it out perfectly, what you're all about and all that good stuff. And I wanted to touch on a couple of them because I really, as an 80s person, really, really appreciate that. We want to, and here's basically one part that you say, we're all about engaging the audience, encouraging everyone to sing and dance along. So it's obvious that when you're up there putting on that performance, that you're all in about the passion of what you're wanting to try to get across to the fans.
And I'll let Shannon answer that because she does a lot of the emceeing and singing. So Shannon,
very much energetic person. Yes, I must agree. Yeah. I wish I had a little bit more of that kind of energy.
Me too.
I don't know. You got to come see us live. I feel
there you go. Yeah.
Honestly, we are having a lot of fun just stage on our own, and it's just a very symbiotic group, and we really like each other. We like playing together, and I think that always comes off to the audience, but the audience interaction is just very important, I think, to what we're doing, and just to get everyone to dance and get everyone to just feel like they're right back there in the mall listening to Tiffany or whatever. You know what I mean? It's,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Sure.
It's,
Yeah.
it makes it really, really fun and really time capsule vibes. It's just, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, John 17 something. I don't have my glasses on.
You need them glasses, old man.
I need them on. Has asked, what is the coolest venue that you played at?
I'll say that we had done something. We do something every year in Virginia, and we just did it for 299 radio station, their main radio station in Roanoke area, and they run every year. They run a 80s party. That's all 80s, and they have all their fans of the radio come out, and they dress all 80s, and it packs out. And it's
Wow.
it's called Sidewinders, and we just played there about a month ago, and it was obviously hundreds and hundreds of people, and they all dressed in the 80s, and they were so pumped up because they're all just huge fans of the 80s. So I would say that's probably we do a lot of great events, but I would say that's one that sticks out. I don't know. How about you, Shannon?
That was really, really fun. And Paul, our male vocalist, always says, it makes us feel less lonely when folks in the audience are also dressed
Or
up.
dressed up like you. Yeah.
They had some crazy costumes.
Right. I bet.
This perfect carbon copy Madonna. Then we had folks dressed as Kiss, but really quality costumes.
Yeah.
That part's always really fun, just to see what they wear.
Shannon, speaking of that, DC has the red leather outfit like Eddie Murphy wore.
Right.
He could wear out there.
Right.
That I need to see.
Yeah. Now we decided a long time ago that we're very much past like the parachute pants. We don't need to start a fire with friction.
I was gonna say Smokey the Bear says people our age don't wear parachute pants.
Don't wear parachute pants. Too much friction.
Yeah.
Right. Now I might could pull off the members only jacket if I could get it to fit anymore.
Right.
Without splitting it in the back, so
that tube tie thing,
Oh man. No, hey, let's go a little bit more into the 80s portion of this thing because we like to ask this for a lot of our artists that played in 80s groups or even tribute artists themselves. We kind of use this same question a lot. I'm curious what your thought is. We usually hear very similar answers to each other on this one, but why is this 80s thing hanging around so powerful and strong for all these different age groups?
Well, I guess we'll both answer that. I'll go first. I'm going to say that to me, there's really no decade, if you go back in history, that has the diversity as diverse as the 80s was. And not only was it diverse, it was so unique because anything almost went. No matter how you were, your clothes, bands from Europe were getting big. It didn't matter your lifestyle or whatever. It all was accepted, and that's what I love about it. It could be hair metal, it could be new wave, it could be just standard pop like Madonna or Prince or something like that, or even Prince was unique. So it's just, I think it was a real breakout decade of obviously electronic and music started really coming out in the 80s, but it was a good mixture of electronics, but not like today where it's all sort of programmed, but there was still a lot of musicians playing. So it introduced obviously keyboards to the forefront, like I talked before. Female vocalists started to become real big, and as male. So you had all these different styles. And to me, it's really no other colorful and the clothes that came out in the 80s, well, you'll never be able to duplicate again. And again, anything went. And I think that's what I love about the 80s. I love bands like Depeche Mode and New Order and all that stuff, where that was so unique and so different. To me, it's my favorite decade of. I'll let Shannon answer as well.
Well, I agree with that because I think that sort of diversity of spirit and is evident in our set lists. It's just like you said, it's sort of all over the place. I mean, you've got Madonna and Michael Jackson, and you've got Pat Benatar, and you've got hair metal, and it really gives us the opportunity as artists to just explore all of those different facets of ourselves.
Wide variety, yeah.
And even you're getting ready for the show, and I'm like, how maximalist! Like you're teasing your hair and you're putting on crazy makeup, and there's just something really fun about that. I mean, I think everyone has always gravitated towards that of anything goes. Like it's the 80s. I can wear whatever I want, you know.
The coolest thing, and you guys both touched on it, we were in the 80s, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was the metal guy, okay? But it would be no shock for me to be listening to like Men Without Hats on Safety Dance or you know, Adamant. I mean, you listen to
a variety of different type of artists like you guys are talking about. You're right.
I did tease my hair back in the day. Not today.
Now you don't have to today. Yeah.
You know, back in the day we actually had some hair. But I mean,
we did.
So cool. And I think that's what I really enjoy the most about you guys and watching your performances. Because a lot of the tribute bands we have on are one artist, they're amazing, don't get me wrong. But you guys kind of remind me of what it was like to be in the 80s, because you would have it on 103 KDF rocking out, and 1 minute you're rocking to metal, and the next minute you're listening to Safety Dance doing this in the car.
Right.
I mean, it's just amazing. So I really think the uniqueness that
you're froze.
There you go. So, and now we got you.
Yeah. You're froze, DH. Man, what a face. You're scaring us if you can hear any of that. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get back on. But Shannon, I got to ask this because this has kind of come up to me when you were kind of talking about your part there a second ago. Is it real difficult to change ranges? Like that's got to be talent in itself, just that portion, to be able to go from one song and then and you may not do that in your set. Maybe can you change? Okay. Yeah. You know, talk more about that.
It is a challenge. And
okay.
We were just talking about this recently, going from Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which is like, hot, pingy, like a very upper range belt.
Sure.
And you go to I Love Rock and Roll, where you're just kind of like
Joan Jett's doing the hard.
And stuff like that.
Mad stuff at you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's challenging, but I find it really gratifying. And I feel that that's, as a singer, always been something I was interested in exploring, and kind of go all over the map that way. And it's really fun to get to do it all in one night, you know?
Yeah. Well, here's where I was going with that. There's DH. You're upside down. You're turning me upside down. You don't make me sick. Thought I was on a roller coaster with you there a second. You're still doing it, man. We're going to get nauseated.
My computer decided to update all at once. I think you really kicked me out.
So
I joined.
We did. Now, you left a face like you were like on the FBI's most 10 wanted list or something. So that'll be something to look at when we run it back on the YouTube.
The only top 10 list I would be on is most wanted for taking a nap or eating a cheeseburger. So one of those two I'm in.
All right, then.
My computer's trying to connect, so if it connects back, I'll jump back over.
You're fine. But
I'm here.
Hey, we're used to these high-tech disasters that we always do. We've done this gig for 4 years and we haven't gotten any better. I promise you. It has not gotten any better for us.
See any improvement in
the future. So we'll just go as is.
I had a question for you guys. How did you find out for the band? How did you find our band, being that you're in Nashville?
I do research whenever I've got spare moments on every 80s topic. So when I do 80s tributes and pop that on the web, as easy it is to find anything these days, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And,
thanks for
oh, absolutely. And it's like DH said, when you start looking at the material, you're different, and I mean that in a very positive way. You're different. You got a lot of energy. You bring the look that people are begging to see, and it's different. You got a different kind of show that you present. And it's like DA said, we cover lots and lots of tribute artists, and they do fantastic job. They're fabulous musicians.
Oh, amazing.
But it's always a treat to find folks like yourself that, hey, we're going to give you the wide spectrum of all the different genres, and we're going to bring a lot of excitement and compassion to it, and y'all definitely do that.
Thank
And
you.
I'm hoping you can get in our area.
Oh, yeah.
DH, even if they come close, in
Road
our
trip.
radius, we have to make the pilgrimage.
Road trip, brother. We can make a road trip.
Right.
Wouldn't be
So
the first time.
hopefully they'll get in a pretty short distance of us at some point anyway.
You have the outfit already? You ready to go?
We would definitely work on. Trust me, you'll have no trouble finding us in the crowd.
You.
Look, I'll even
The
rock
big
my
ball head
shirt
guys up
for that
front. If we
show.
take our hats off, you'll know us. Hey, that's DC and DH. They told
They'll
us
be
to look
like,
for those
"Hey,
ball
y'all."
heads.
Actually, they'll be like, "Hey, y'all put your hats back on. We can't
You
see
were
up
blind.
there. Come on,
Yeah,
y'all."
it's ricocheting and blinding us up here on the stage.
Yeah, but the
So.
only bad thing is after 7:30, DC will have to take a nap. So
You're right. That's about my stretch. I can't do them. I can't do them late hours anymore, man. I'm a pop.
Are
I'm a
you?
grandfather. I'm a grandfather.
Oh,
I can't do that.
Hey, me too.
Yeah. So no, if it's a special night, I can sleep during the day and then try to make it through.
little disco nap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man.
DC, I think it's time for the question of the night.
Go ahead.
Nope,
ahead.
I'm not going to influence anything. Okay.
Well,
I'm going to let
do this. You give them the past ones.
Okay.
And then I'll give them the one that we're on now. Please take us off that roller coaster. Are you done?
Not yet. I was just I'm trying to mess with you to give you a hint.
Okay.
Am I right side up now?
As far as you know, yes.
As far as I know, I'm looking at my picture. I'm right side up.
Yeah.
I'm working on
You're good. You're all good.
All right.
You're all good.
So the first one we did was, and
well,
let me
tell them what this is first.
Yeah, let me explain the background of this.
Get back to the teacher part. You've been in the admin office too long.
Yeah, I just
you didn't explain the lesson to us.
To have your bell work up. Your
right.
Let's just roll.
Yeah, start with the lesson first, man.
All right. So what's going on? Just to kind of give you a background. And DC says I try to cheat this every week, and I don't understand how he says
trying to get the free breakfast
why
from
he
me.
does that. But what we do is on Friday mornings we do our weekly recap of the show.
Our post conference,
Waffle House,
right?
And whoever loses,
that's our conference room.
Yes, yeah, our daily conference booth. Whoever loses has to buy breakfast for the other. Okay, so this is a Friday morning thing. So the first two bands we did Van Halen versus Motley Crue, and he always said I try to influence it. I jump at that motion. I mean, I almost want to send him to Panama because he says that. But he always says I try to influence that.
Right.
So we did that one. So you want to do them all?
You wore me out pretty good on that one. Yeah. The crew didn't do too well.
The second one, which I found I didn't think would be as interesting, but it actually turned out to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Was Prince versus Michael Jackson. And let me tell you, again, I'm not.
That was tough for people.
I just moonwalked all over the place in that one. I mean, it's all kinds of fun. The third one
Prince held the throne.
Yes, he did on that one. But I still tried to moonwalk it. The third one, we decided to do a group versus an individual. So
here it is.
Journey versus Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of broke my heart because I was having to run to you because, Bryan Adams didn't quite hold up to what I was expecting. But But
I was very faithfully to Journey.
Yes, you were. You were faithful. But somehow this has become a segment that we get emails on each week wanting to know, hey, did you enjoy your free breakfast? And, who won all this?
They want to know more about that than the show.
So this one, we were looking at something totally different, totally off the wall. So I'm driving around on a Sunday morning and I go from, Elvis radio.
Choking? Oh, okay. No, okay.
Trying to get
go
my
ahead.
breath.
Go ahead.
From Elvis radio to Jimmy Buffett. And I thought, well, that's two very ends of the spectrum. Let's see how that one goes. Now, I'm not going to influence anyone. This is the one you're going to decide, Elvis or Jimmy Buffett. while you are trying to decide this, I'm just going to eat my nice cheeseburger over here in paradise with a little margarita that's refreshing. Don't want to influence anybody. CDC, I'm not influencing
I
anything.
understand. I got you.
So we're going to await the decision of the judges while I'm enjoying this nice cheeseburger in paradise.
Right.
And I'll stay here doing it my way.
Which has never worked before.
No, it hasn't worked right, but I'm going to stick with it. Oh, Shannon,
So
what do you
Mike,
think?
Shannon?
Or Mike, whoever wants to go first.
Elvis versus Jimmy Buffett. See, you threw me with I love a margarita. I just do.
Yes.
I really do.
Come to the dark side. It's okay.
But
Oh,
I don't like that butt. I don't like that butt.
ain't nothing but a hound dog. I just love Elvis. I do love
Yeah.
Elvis.
there you go. So now I've got at least
You got
a
at
cup
least
of coffee.
half a refill. You got at least half
okay.
a refill.
Okay.
Mike.
Well, on the same cue, I would well, yeah, it would probably be Elvis.
There you go. Yes.
DC, so you are going to be the proud recipient of one refill on your coffee this
Okay.
week, courtesy of
I
me.
appreciate it. Thanks, boss.
I need to know what the Waffle House orders are.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
All right. So this is how this goes. So this Friday, since you're paying, he'll have the water, and then you do your order, right?
no.
Is that how that's going to work?
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to buy for your sugar that you put in your coffee. It's all
Okay.
covered. Don't even worry about it.
You'll
Use
work
as
some
much as
kind of
you want.
angle. That's for sure. That's for sure. Hey guys, talk to us a little bit about, and we've kind of stepped on it a little bit. How about these other fantastic musicians that you work with?
Yes.
Sure, I'll talk a little bit about the musicians, and Shannon can probably talk somewhat about the singers. But
Sure.
So we have. I talked a little bit about my keyboard player Dave Lickard, who's
Yeah.
a big part of it, and he sort of kind of co-leads it with me.
Mhm.
And then and we're all involved. Like I don't run it where it's me, and then everybody has to listen to what I say. We run it as a band.
Yeah.
And then we have Logan on bass, who's also he can sing lead by himself if you want vocals. He's that good. So we give him a good amount of songs, and then we have and you want to talk, Shannon, about GK and Paul maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the great things about our band is so GK is our lead guitarist, but he also has a killer voice. And I mean, some of the stuff that he sings, Blister in the Sun, and just has that really like perfect sound for it.
Yeah.
And then our lead vocalist, male vocalist, Paul Miller is just fantastic. I mean, his Love Shack is like nothing I've ever heard. It's just he has such swag about him and presence about him, and it's a really versatile voice. And it's just
That's just a fun song, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It's
Cool.
very theatrical. Yeah. It's just very
Sure it is. Sure it is.
So yeah, it's been a real treat to be in a band where it seems like there are so many different talents happening within each individual, and all of those are very much highlighted. So
And Steve, now you can add a new song with all of my camera and computer problems tonight. You can start singing Roller Coaster.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, see, we'll just add that. We'll add that in, and you can say it for every time you sing it. You can go, look, this is for D&D, and just start singing.
Right. Right.
Writing that down.
Yeah. Shannon, I got to ask this as well. Do you have a favorite song, or do you get tired of singing a certain song?
I do not get tired, and the funny thing is what has actually happened is when I was learning the set lists, there are songs that I thought, I don't really like this one. And then doing it live with our band, I'm like, you know what? I'm sold. Now suddenly I'm into this song. Favorite, I really love singing Pat Benatar a lot.
Yeah.
And then kind of on the flip side of the coin, I also really enjoy singing the Madonna material. So
Okay.
So I know they're quite different, but
we had we've got a great Nashville band here. One of our good friends, David Lowry, is with Heartbreaker. That very, very talented group of Pat Benatar. Yeah. ironically, we just had them on, 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, a couple weeks back,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, Missy, if you're watching,
Yeah, and David.
she's
Don't
fantastic.
forget David.
And David, and all
And
the
don't
other
forget,
guys,
Randy,
of course.
Randy, if you're listening, we're still all waiting on those cookies you're supposed
Right.
to send us, Randy.
Yeah, that's an insider on that deal. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, we've interviewed a couple of the Pat Benatar folks. Yeah, they're very, very talented for sure, aren't they?
Very cool.
Bill
Yeah,
and Pat. Yeah, yeah.
it's just fun to say.
Yeah.
I wanted to also mention that we try to touch upon like major hits that were big, because the movies were a big part of the '80s too. Like, so
Sure.
we do songs like Footloose, Don't You Forget About Me, which is obviously Breakfast Club.
Sure.
We do what's the other one, Shannon?
I've had the time of my life.
Time of my life. So Oh What a Feeling from
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing. So we really we want to not just, it's not, when I formed it, I didn't want it to be only just about the music. I wanted it really to be about the feel of the '80s, you know. So
Yeah,
that's
covering all the areas of it. Yeah,
right, you know, and so that's why we also do. I mean, they're also
that's
big,
awesome. Yeah,
but we try to involve people. You know, they really react when you do a song like Footloose or any of those songs, because it makes them feel like, oh wow, I remember watching this movie in a movie theater, when people used to go to movie theaters.
Sure.
Yeah,
brings back those memories. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's back when you could go to a movie and get popcorn for less than the price of a new car. So
Right. You could afford it. Yeah. DH, they remind me, these guys, a lot of our friends from Rubik's Groove as well.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
Now, what's different? They do the dress up, and we have Johnny. Johnny is the Karate Kid look-alike, you know, Johnny Lawrence look-alike. And then we got P. Diddy, who's Pee Wee Herman dressed. You need to check those guys out online. They do a lot of travel in the South region and stuff, but they're based out of the Nashville area, and they've been good people for us as well.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we did a live show we did some live footage and stuff.
We attempted a live.
We attempted some live footage at one of their concerts this past summer, and so yeah, that kind of when you started talking about kind of what you're doing. Now they delve into a few different decades, 80s, 90s, and touch a little bit into 2000s. But you guys, oh man, that is just fantastic. You stay right there with the 80s, right? In the whole show. Yeah.
And the cool thing was,
Go ahead, Mike.
We actually, I mean, when we do an '80s show, it's all '80s. To be honest, about a couple of years ago, we started saying, well, you know, being successful at what we do, you know, gratefully, we actually do a '90s show that's completely different.
Oh, okay.
We also do a '70s show, because obviously those are all our we're obviously '80s is our heart and, you know, bread and butter. But we would say, you know, let's do a '90s show. So we started doing that.
Okay.
And we do a '90s show in the '70s, but that's maybe 1 out of 10 of our shows. And the real reason is because Kids in America, you know, again, is so popular that there's really not a lot of opening dates to do them. But when we can, we love to do a '90s and '70s show also. But you know, '80s is what we, you know, is our heart, you know, hearts in the '80s big time. So but yeah, so we don't usually mix it in our '80s show. When we do an '80s show, it is all '80s, you know.
Fantastic.
and that was one of the cool things. Looking at your play, you know, on your site where you have your playlist, and you start reading through the songs, and they start playing in your head. It's like every song. So that was really awesome.
I love when we start a song and you know, Shannon or Paul, somebody starts singing, or even the keyboards, and you can see people's faces light up. You know, it could be 99 Red Balloons or something like that, when they're like, wow, I haven't heard this song in a long time, and I love it, you know. So that's what we love.
Now, Shannon, I got to ask this: can you do 99 Luft Balloons in the German version?
Balloons. I would love to learn the German.
I'm sure you've heard it, right? I'm sure
yeah.
you've heard it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And one of these days, I'm gonna break it out.
Well, I'll tell you this: I
So-
you know, that she was a pretty good. She was a looker then. The Nina, but when she sang it in the German, I'm like, man, that made her like double for me for some reason. I don't know.
100% transparency on that. The first
Yeah.
time I heard it, the German version on the radio, I thought, what did the censors do to this song? What's wrong with Red
Well,
Balloon? Like, what?
okay. Yeah. Well, here's the deal then. I guess maybe I'm the one that's kind of messed up in the mind then. So, but I just thought that was just as cool as all get out.
Yeah, she's a hottie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And when she did that German version of it, I was like, yeah, I could get it. Yeah, this is cool stuff right here now.
So, in other words, what you're saying on your Friday nights when you were in the chick magnet mobile,
right?
The powder blue chick magnet mobile, you were
right.
cruising around listening
the
to
baby blue.
Balloons.
That's right.
Well,
no, that was definitely not a cruise song. You didn't do 99 Left Balloons was not a cruise song.
Now I wonder you never had a passenger in that baby blue chick magnet.
Maybe that was the reason. Maybe that possibly.
Nina was there. That's all that matters.
Right. Yeah, Nina was there. Great point. Yes. Oh man. Hey, tell us, what's some stuff that's currently going on with you, and you got some future stuff going on and all that.
You want to talk about it, Shannon?
Sure. I'm like, what do we have this weekend? This weekend we have a couple local gigs, but also we're doing a 70s show at Mad Life in Atlanta, or not Atlanta, in Woodstock, Georgia.
Well, yes, Atlanta,
outskirts. Yeah,
Atlanta
there you go. Okay.
Yeah. And then, Mike, we head to Albany soon.
Yeah, so we'll. I think the next one that's really stands out is the Albany at it's called Cohoes, New York, at Cohoes Music Hall, and that's in March 22nd, I'm pretty sure, and that's a theater, and we love doing it because that's like a special stamp, when you do a theater, and that so that's coming up if you're near Albany or anywhere up that way.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, come
Give them a look for sure, guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Coming up shortly, that's probably one, like Shannon just said, that really stands out. So we have a lot of festivals. We do we're popular in town festivals and all that because it's very family. The kids have a really good time. And what's really cool is we play shows for all ages. And what's cool about the 80s is, people say to kids today, this, that, that. When we play for kids that are younger, and I'm talking about 20s or even teens, they know all the songs. They know all the words. They actually
just amazes me. Amazes me. I mean, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I mean, they literally, they'll stand in front of us and sing every lyric to almost every song. These are kids 12, 13 years old.
Okay. All right, Mike, you brought up a great point that I want to add to that because we've asked it before. Do you think, we've asked this to several artists, not even in the kind of like the 80s deal, because we've interviewed some people in other decades too. But I'm curious on that. When you said that, this kind of reminded me of asking it. Do you think the music that they kind of have now is just not the quality or the meaning to it that some of that 80s touches them?
You want me to answer? Or
Shannon? or both of you. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you mine. And I want Shannon.
Absolutely.
I think that's true. And matter of fact, there was just a study done by Rick Beadle. He's big on YouTube and all this. That actually the sound of rock and is starting to transfer back, which personally I think is great. I think the sound that's been going on now on pop radio for a while, the last 10, 12 years, is kind of getting old. So I think that the kids really, I think the 80s, 70s, and really the other decades, even 90s, they're sort of timeless because the music was so unique and not really sort of programmed, and there was real singing going on, not sort of talking and all this stuff. So I think that, and really good melodies, that to me, you'll remember, like, I say to myself, when I hear current radio, and I'm trying to knock it because every generation has a thing, but is that a song that these kids are going to remember 20 years from now, 30 years from now? And I say to
Right.
myself, a lot of stuff, no, probably not. But yeah, I mean, are you going to remember "Let's Go Crazy" by Prince from Purple Rain, which we do? Yeah, that's a timeless song, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Makes sense.
and the reason is because there's well written songs with really good melodies and hooks and choruses by the musician, not sort of programmed and made by some producer somewhere in somebody's house. So
Right.
it's a different vibe, and a lot of times written by a band and not just. So it's just more thought out and better. Better chords, better chord structure, your bridge, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I'll see if what Shannon has to say on that.
No, I agree with that. I think I do think that, millennials, Gen Z, and younger, I think are kind of starved for live entertainment and live musicianship. And I know just among my peers, it's just like such a thrilling experience when you see a live band and it's like that's not just a reproduced sound, like that person is playing that instrument. And I think that that's just very, very important. And it's something that we are losing a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that, and then also even culturally, I think there's resurgence of 80s fashion and 80s style, and like you've got Stranger Things, you've got just, I think, a generation that really is gravitating towards that sort of maximalist, fun, wild style of the 80s specifically, and that's really fun. I think it's cool that it's
Sure
all
is.
around.
Yeah.
I
It
also
is for us too.
I wanted to mention that.
Very much.
I wanted to mention that we, as a band, we do not track, and and some bands track, and that's fine.
Yes.
I'm not knocking tracking, but we don't. Everything we do live is nothing's tracked. No keyboards, no vocals, no drums, nothing. It's all live, and to me, that's how music should be. And if you have the right band and the right musicians, the right vocalists, you don't need to do all that other stuff. But then again, that's just my opinion. But we do everything is live, no tracking whatsoever.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Great stuff. Yeah. We've asked this before, as well, and I'll never forget this. I can't recall who it was. This has been a while back. But we asked this particular artist, as my memory is fading away on who it was, but I remember the question though. And his response was this, is that if you have the look, nowadays you don't necessarily have to have all the talent, because the computerized age we're in, they can make you sound good.
Right.
And that stuck with me, because these guys, y'all are talking, and like y'all are doing, these guys in the 80s, and they didn't have any, you got the real deal. They didn't dab on it.
They're talking,
you got what you got.
I think they're talking about like pitch correction. There's all these things out there that can make you, even live, kind of make your vocals stay in tune. And we don't use any of that stuff. And a lot of bands don't. But that's become more and more common for that reason. There's just people with the look really don't have the talent, and they're using tricks, technology to make it work.
Yeah, and that was kind of what, I think the question was kind of open, like, well, how much, what's really changed a lot in the business since you came in, or what? And that stuck out to me. That's what he kind of talked about, was like, yeah, it's all about the money. If you got the look, we can make it work for you. A lot of these people can do that. So that's sad.
I don't think there's enough,
I guess that's how it works.
I don't think there's enough fixes in the world to make you.
No, there's not enough. No, there's not enough technology tricks to help us.
No, we're beyond repair.
We're beyond. Yeah. They don't have a program to fix us.
No, the only thing they can fix us is by turning it off.
Turning it off. Yeah, just stay with the old regular, the go-to. Turn that thing off.
It's as good as it's getting, and as bad as it's ever going to be.
Exactly. Guys, let us all know where to. Of course, I know, but let everybody else know where to follow you on all your socials and all that good stuff.
I'll let Shannon do that.
We are Kids in America, Totally 80s Tribute, and you can absolutely find us at our website, kidsinAmericaBand.com.
Fantastic, by the way.
We're also, thank you. We're also very active on Facebook and on Instagram. And Kids in America Band, searching that on Facebook, right, Mike? Is just the way to get.
KidsAmericanBand.com has all the shows. We get all our booking requests go through there. Yep, that's it. That's our address, and you can find everything. And you can find Kids in America on Facebook too.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Mike and
folks.
Shannon, it's been a pleasure. All the best to you. Be safe in your travels, and try to come up to the Nashville area. Try to get up our way.
If you guys know of any places that do tribute bands like us, shoot us an email.
Well, we will definitely see what we can find out for you. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
We will do that. Can you hold tight there, and we'll kind of wrap it up?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. Take it away there, DH.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. We'd like to thank Mike and Shannon and Kids in America for taking time out of their busy schedule to come on our podcast here and share with everyone out there. We appreciate everyone that's listening in. Make sure you give us a like, a share, a shout out. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker Radio, Radio Republic, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, on the TikToker. Yes, we're there. On Facebook. We have a website, and even on Google Podcasts. Everything D&D Dynamite 80s. Any good comments, send them my way, because I know they're all about me. Any complaints, go straight to DC. If you send them to me, I will forward them. No worries at all.
You had to plug that, didn't you?
Yes, folks, as I end off before I throw it over to DC every week, remember, it doesn't cost anything extra to be kind, so always be kind to each other out there, folks. DC?
Amen, brother. It's good to have you back in the studio, even though you're still trying to get over it, man.
Mike, Shannon, I apologize for tonight. Breathing problems are
COVID's
still real,
kicked
but we made it.
Yeah.
Oh, all good.
Yeah. And we still had a few people show up tonight on the show, even though I did it solo last week.
Yes.
That's kind of scary. So that's good. I didn't foul it up too bad, I guess, on my own, did I?
No, you did well.
Okay.
You did
All
well.
right.
You held it well.
All right. Next week, once again, we've got 7:30 Nashville time. Mr. Speed. These guys were on Axis. They were a winner on Axis TV.
Yes.
The tribute bands that they have that come out to LA to do that deal. They are fantastic. They are a tribute to Kiss.
Yes.
So Mr.
It'll be a
Speed
great show.
will be with us next week. We appreciate them jumping in on that spot that we had empty for about 2 days.
Yes.
So somebody's liking something we're doing because I'm keeping you quite busy.
It's because we have guests that come on
Like
Mike and Shannon.
Shannon.
DC, it's not us.
No, it is not us. No, you're right.
It's the guests.
I figured that out a long time ago, by the
The only
way.
thing we're good for is drinking coffee at Waffle House on a Friday morning.
There we go. Now, we do have that down pat.
Yes.
All right. Let me get our sponsors in here real quick, and we'll get on out of here for the evening. D&D Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, The Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee, PJG Marketing, and our latest and greatest sponsor, Totally Cool 80s. You can check out all these great folks online. Yeah, Tammy Deaver. Check her out at Totally Cool 80s. We appreciate her coming on board. She does these trivia books.
Oh, they're amazing.
DH, I thought I knew a lot about the 80s. I do not. So she's got a side A. We got the side A version, but she's also put out a side B. So I got to get that. I got to get that one
B will
too.
be better for us, like the old match.
No, it will not.
Big B.
No, it will not. So anyway, we appreciate her very, very much.
Yes, very much.
And she got some big hitters coming up for us.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
And she's
once
gonna be a
again.
guest host.
Yeah, once
She is
again
gonna
on
be a
August
guest host.
7th. Yeah, she's going to be a guest host August 7th. Wally Reyes Jr., the current drummer for Chicago, will be with us. And then the following week, we got Michael Hansen, the original drummer and founder of Glass Tiger.
Yes.
So, cool stuff. And we appreciate her and her connections and and all that cool stuff to get us all rolling here. So been a good friend to the podcast for sure.
Oh, definitely bailed us out many
So
a
we
time.
appreciate it. Tammy, I know you're going to be listening back on the YouTuber at us. So shout out to you. We appreciate you. Yeah. So once again, DC and DH, DND Dynamite 80s, Nashville, Tennessee. And we appreciate you checking in weekly with us. Shannon and Mike from Kids in America. These guys are, like I said, out of the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And yeah, get on there on the YouTube and on their website and check out and go see these guys. They are fabulous, fabulous musicians, and they are a treat to go. They are showmen. They are absolutely put on a great show.
When you go see them, tell them D&D sent you, and they'll charge you extra.
And they'll charge you extra. That's right. That's right. No, for next week though, we appreciate you guys. Take care, and like I said, all safe travels and all that grand stuff. We hope that we can check in with you again at some point.
Yeah, like I said, if you guys know any clubs or whatever, let us know, and just anytime you want us to come back, we'll gladly come back.
All right, we will definitely have you guys on. We'll do an update. Yeah. We will definitely do an update with you. Yes. We appreciate it. All right, guys. So next week, as DC always kind of closes out the show, keep playing them 80s.
See you next week, folks.
See you.